It is vitally important for the Michigan Nonprofit Association to be out there talking to people every day about the great work that our members and our network is doing in communities. I really think nonprofits underestimate the power that they have. We were able to pull down millions of dollars for the nonprofit sector, meeting with lawmakers and policymakers, but unless you're telling them what's going on, they're not going to know. If you've ever heard the expression, if you're not at the table, you're probably on the menu, that really couldn't apply more than when it comes to nonprofits. My name is Joan Gustafson. I'm the External Affairs Officer at the Michigan Nonprofit Association. The question really is not should we advocate, but how can we afford not to? There's usually pressure on budgets, policymakers change regularly due to term limits, and the ever-growing influence of money and the crowded field of interest groups. And yet, with bipartisan support, M&A was able to create and fund a $50 million grant program for charitable nonprofits in July of 2022. The Michigan Nonprofit Relief Fund was a lifeline to nonprofits that struggled to survive through the pandemic. One of the biggest bodies of work that we do here is what we call democracy issues, to educate communities about what's at stake when they don't vote. There's just a huge distrust in governments, and nonprofits are some of the last entities and communities that are still trusted. So they're uniquely qualified to talk to people in communities about why it's so important, not just in terms of funding that's coming into communities, but in terms of representation, such as folks experiencing homelessness, immigrant communities, some communities of color. If you're not involved in these processes, redistricting, for example, if you don't understand how your district might be divided in a way that dilutes voting power, it's just not going to be a fair process. We're already gearing up for the next census. We have nonpartisan voting programs that we run. It's very important work for the Michigan Nonprofit Association and for our partners.